Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see a man back for a 16th NFL season, Eli Manning and the New York Football Giants, as they take on the 11-year man Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Downtown between Brush Street and I-375. That's where we're located in the heart of Detroit at Ford Field, which first opened back in 2002. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with Eli Manning and the New York Giants. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, they come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback.
From the ready. Mike 51. Mike 51. Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D. Check 3. Check 3.
Here's the former number 2 pick, the Pro Bowler Saquon Barkley. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game. So what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Shotgun now for Manning. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Back to throw, Stafford. Touchdown, Detroit! Kenny Galladay, 77 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
A quick throw. Here's Shepard. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it 3rd and 13. On 3rd and long, it's Madden. Finds his tight end, Ingram. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. They were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether it's seeing different defenses, they'll have to figure it out as this game moves on.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. Finding room at the 30. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards there and a Lion first down. So the drive takes him into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Stafford now to throw. Catch is made by Hawkinson, the tight end. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Stafford delivers this to Hawkinson. Now the ball comes loose, and the Giants have it. It's picked up, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Manning going to hand it off to Barkley. And for a second straight play, the Lion defense drops him behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Throwing on 3rd and long. Manning. He's got his man. This is Tate. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, got the safe completion on 3rd. 12 yards on the return that time, and the Lions will take over. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And the last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. To throw again. Stafford, he completes it to Jones. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league and converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Dexter Lawrence just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. To throw is Stafford. Open man is Galladay, complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Stafford. Complete to Jones. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Marvin Jones, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Prater for the extra point, and it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Giants ready to come out now. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. To throw is Manning. They'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 14 on that one and a first down. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Giant football, and we're ready to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Fights loose. All that, it only nets him a yard. It's 2nd down. A lot of eyes on Golden Tate this year to see if he can take over some of the production that OBJ had before he got shipped to Cleveland. You know, Beckham had 1,000-yard seasons 4 of his 5 years in New York. Golden Tate struggled at the end of last year in Philadelphia, but he had a really good run in Detroit, including 3,000-yard seasons in the middle of this decade.
Offside defense.
And that's about the easiest decline call you'll ever have right there.
Well, it leads me to one of my pet peeves, and maybe peeves is too strong of a word, but if you're going to jump off sides, finish the play. Make sure the play ends. Don't jump off sides and stop, because you see the net result here. If you go ahead and finish the play, you don't give up that type of yardage.
And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
A lot of attention paid this week in practice to red zone offense. The coach was optimistic about how it went. We'll see. Manning to Barkley on the draw play. He will push his way down to about the 14. Trey Flowers there on the tackle.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Manning to throw on 3rd and 1. He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Throwing now is Manning. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Well, you know you don't want to make a mistake in that area, so you make sure you make a smart throw. Throw it out towards the sidelines. If you overshoot your guy, so be it. It's just the incompletion that we saw there.
2nd down and goal. Manning. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. From 4 yards out, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. They worked out for 6.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his O-line and just went.
So there's 2 ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
On 1st down, it's Stanford. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get something like a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 1st down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Throwing is Stanford. That's to his running back, Kerryon Johnson. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. Now Stafford on 3rd and goal. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Jabril Peppers, the former first-round pick, there on the coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
They had it 1st and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive, but you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
Manning and the Giants come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He completes it to Tate. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Go now. 8 read. Come on, let's go.
On 2nd and 11 now. Manning over the middle. He's got his tight end Ingram. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd.
On the double. You want the mic. All right. Here we go. Let's go, B. Let's go. Now let's get there. 2.
From the gun on 3rd down, Manning. It's caught. Shepard. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Give him 30 yards there. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. Stays on his feet. 1st down, Giants on a pickup of 14.
Oh, he's got the full package. He can spin, he can juke, he can make you miss, he can drop a shoulder on you. Some of that elusiveness we saw at Penn State has definitely translated to the NFL game. Saquon Barkley hit the proper buttons and turn him loose.
Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Manning letting one go deep for the... And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. Darius Slayton, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now just an extra point away from making...
Pass complete to Darius Slayton. Touchdown, New York. Aldrich Rosas lining up for the extra point.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look, and now it's blocked. It's picked up, a live ball here, remember. And he gets it past the 30, but not much further than that. And the extra point attempt snuffed down.
I know it's easy to kind of shrug off a blocked extra point, but this game is shaping up to be a tight one. The 2nd half, this could prove crucial.
Yeah, we might look back on this one. We'll have to wait and see.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tough.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Johnson, the intended target, and it's 2nd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A gain there of 21 yards. Stafford now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Call it an even 20 yards on the pickup. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. Stafford looks to throw again. And an alley to run. And avoids the contact by sliding. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Gets him 9 yards and a first. On 1st and 10, Stafford. He'll get this one to Galladay. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw again, Stafford. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and that'll make this a 7-point game. So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked on since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And now the clock reads precisely 1 minute to go in the half. You want to run the 1-minute offense? This is a good test right here.
It certainly is, and definitely not a time to think about kneeling and going into the half. This is a chance to attack a little bit, but not having to get everything in one shot either. 10 yards here, 15 there. Work the sidelines, work the clock, give yourself a chance for at least a field goal going into the half.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here are the Lions to take over. They've got the lead right now in this contest, and they're coming off that victory a week ago against the Minnesota Vikings. Set to go, 1st and 10. And they start the second half with Johnson. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
32!
Again, it's Johnson. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at the 45. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now Stafford over the middle. It's complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 11 yards there and a Lion 1st down. So the drive takes him into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. It's a gain of 14 and a 1st down for Detroit. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, a run for Johnson. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Stafford throwing on target to Jones. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line.
Lady, alert!
From the red zone now, Stafford. This will be caught just inside the 10. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense. The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal. 3 red zone trips have yielded just 2. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Ty Montgomery, his first touchdown on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. So now Stafford will bring up the Lions, and they'll go for 2. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now Saquon Barkley, and able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. Again, it's Barkley. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. On the draw, this is Barkley. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. That's something we saw over and over again in Barkley's rookie season. He had 91 catches last year, most ever by a rookie running back. Part of a fantastic rookie campaign that saw him go over 2,000 total yards.
Offense.
Well, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
Here we go. 15 run. 15 run.
Throwing is Manning on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
They go to Johnson again. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A gain there of 30 big ones. You know, I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
Stafford delivers this to Hawkinson, and they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 18. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Back to throw, Stafford. Galladay's got it, and the Lions have a touchdown. Kenny Galladay, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Extra point good by Prater. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A reminder, later tonight, Sunday Night Football will see a game in the NFL 100 series, a rematch of the very first AFL-NFL championship game, later, of course, known as Super Bowl I. It pits the Packers against the Chiefs from Arrowhead, and that should be a fun one. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
They'll go to Barkley again. Flexing his muscle at the 30. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
A 7-yard gain on the play.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back now at Ford Field. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
On 3rd down, Barkley. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give him a lot of confidence to help turn things around. Manning. And Tate's got it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 1st down, Giants on a pickup of 14. Manning now on 1st down. It's hauled in by Shepard. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there of 22. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They go back to the ground now with Barkley. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Manning, he's got his man. This is Tate. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. The Giants on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And Barkley did not get there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Here's Manning to throw. Got a man, Slayton. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 1st down for the Giants as they pick up 12. Manning now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. That's complete to Slayton. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well.
Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Let's go. 70, Indy.
From From the gun, it's Manning. Finds his tight end, Ingram. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Throwing again on 2nd down. Manning, and now the ball comes out. Manning lost it, and this is scooped up by the Lions. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. There's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A first down carry here for Johnson. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On 2nd down, it's Johnson. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Alec Ogletree in on the stop. The Lions on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Let's go!
The New York set to take the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. Throwing again. Manning. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game films from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them.
Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Manning on target here to Shepard. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Working from the gun, Manning. And Ingram hauls it in. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 42. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right, safety valve, throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. First down Lions on a pickup of 13. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On the ground, this is Johnson. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
On 2nd down now, it's Johnson. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. That one a first down pickup of 8. They'll run on first down. Grant. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions, and it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Lions, they move back over 500 now at 4-3. They will hit the road next week for a date with the Oakland Raiders. Meanwhile, for the Giants, things are kind of getting ugly as they drop to 1-7 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.